Are we good to go? Okay. Welcome to Curly Q&A Mondays with Melanie. This is episode 76, and I'm sure it looks a little different to pretty much everybody, except for the people that watched me do it last week with our test episode. This is our first new episode in our brand new podcasting and video studio. A lot of people I'd like to thank. Producer Red Hall. Thank you very much, sir. Getting us through all this.
I missed you all last week. Sorry that I wasn't here. And I'm glad that I can be here to join you this time. In this fancy office instead of our beautiful kitchen.
Right. So this week, as you guys see it, it's going to be a little bit different. We're just working on some camera angles and some other things, but it's going to be really cool.
I'm not sure that these are curly girl friendly.
No, they're not.
They're kind of crushing.
It's different. So hoping the sound is good. So how is the sound? Can you hear it good? Do you have any ideas?
Should I ask anybody in the crowd?
Okay. If you guys could give me any
feedback on Instagram
or Facebook Live, let me know how the sound is. And that'd be good. Let us know. Hello. Okay, so we're good to go. So, all right, let's get started. Like I said, bear with us, as we work through the first episode or two. So, anyway, welcome to Curly Q&A Mondays with Melanie. I am your host, Ken Nickels, and I am the co-founder, along with Melanie Nickels, of Raw Hair Organic, which is the parent company of Raw Curls. We're live on Instagram, and we're live on Facebook Live in the Curly Girl support group. And if you're not a member there and you're listening on Instagram or on our podcast on any of the other platforms, feel free to join. There's over 40,000. We're coming up on 41,000 group members now. Hooray. Pretty cool. Very cool. And it's an active group. So anyway, for those of you who are new, who don't know who we are, like I said, I'm Ken Nickels. This is Melanie Nickels. She is also co-founder of Raw Hair Organic, and she is the founder of Raw Curls, the Raw Curls organic and natural products brand. She is also the founder of the Raw Hair Organic Salon in beautiful Naples, Florida, one of the top curly and natural hair salons in the country. She is the founder of the Raw Curls Academy and the behind the chair lead stylist. There, correct. Along with her team. She's an American board certified master hair colorist, specializing in curly hair, and as well as a former educator and former judge exam evaluator for that organization, one of only 19 certified professional hair colorist exam evaluators for that organization. She was personally trained and mentored by a U.S.National hairdressing champion and British national hairdressing champion, and that gentleman worked side by side with the Vidal Sassoon, and as well as graduating from the number one Aveda Institute in the country. Melanie also served as a stylist on the long-running hit Broadway musical 42nd Street as a SAG union member. It's pretty cool. And she has extensive curl training and certifications with the top curl disciplines in the world, the Diva Academy, WeDad, Curlisto, and more. She's undoubtedly one of the most comprehensively trained curl specialists in the world. And she, along with that, holds 2 college degrees as well as accounting and business management. So
so there you have it.
So there you have it in a nutshell. So
we used to say in high school, all that in a bag of chips.
All that in a bag of chips, right? All that in the kitchen sink. So that's every Monday night. This is episode 76. This is the first one that we're doing as a podcast. So you really do get to one-on-one ask your questions, get your questions answered by one of the top curl specialists in the world. And this is the only weekly running curly Q&A for curly and natural hair in the world.
I like to say it's like AA for curlies, and we are your curl counselors. So we're here to counsel your curls.
Correct. So, yeah, like I said, for those of you who aren't in the Curly Girl Sport group on Facebook, feel free to join. A lot of great interaction there. The other curl experts at our salon also engage in there. At Raw Curls on Instagram. and Raw Curls YouTube channel as well. So should we get to some questions, or do you have any fun facts you want to talk about, Melanie? Any fun facts this week?
Well, I'm kind of 2 weeks behind because I wasn't here last week, so I'm gonna kind of put it all together. I think all of you saw I had a really fun week like 2 weeks ago. This was before the 4th of July. I had a bunch of young curlies that came to the salon, so that was fun. I took pictures, some video, and one even drew me a picture of myself, and she got the curls right and everything. So that was pretty fun to have these young curlies coming in for their very first haircuts and starting off on the right foot. So they
How young is young?
3, 4, and 5 actually. It was 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. And the 3-year-old was the one that drew the picture, so that was pretty awesome. And you know, it's neat that they're getting to come in for the proper kind of curly cut at such a young age, and they won't be traumatized like a lot of people in this group, you know, going through bad haircut after bad haircut for their entire life, searching for a curl specialist. They're starting off finding one at such a young age, which is awesome.
All right, for sure. Good. Well, wonderful. Sounds like fun. Are we ready for questions? Should I take them off the sheets, or should we take them off the, are they showing up on the computer?
They will be in just 1 second.
They will be in just a minute. Talk amongst yourselves.
I'm starting with the first one now, so if you want to start with the first one on your list.
Okay. Well, we could start with one other quick question before we get into curl questions, and that I've got a couple of times this week. How's Miley? Would you like to talk about our Raw Paws mascot, Miley? How's Miley?
Well, and let's not forget about Murphy, too. Poor Murphy always gets left out. We have Miley and Murphy, but everyone is, you know, concerned about Miley, and we're grateful for that. But she is still here. She's still with us. Unfortunately, she's not here at the studio to be on the show like she normally is.
Yep.
And Murphy's not in the background squeaking her toys.
Right.
But anyway, they are both doing great. Miley is having a really good month. So she's had a good turnaround. They both got baths today with their Raw Paws, so they're looking quite beautiful.
Good. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Okay. There. So you guys are up to speed on well, Murphy and Miley. So, okay. All right. Let's get into the first question. Melanie, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. This first question comes from Katerina McCormick. Let's see. Does henna dye affect trying to begin doing the curly girl method? I'm just starting out and wondering if I was already in trouble. Also, I can't really stop doing it because henna does not wash out. Any thoughts on henna and curly hair, Melanie?
Well, we've talked about henna in the past, and everyone kind of knows how I feel about that as far as a hair color. It's not my first choice. And for part of the reason of what she's mentioning is because it is a stain and it doesn't come out of the hair. It has to grow out. It can't, and it's also not compatible with traditional hair color with oxidative dyes. So once you have henna on the hair, it can be a problem using any other hair color. It can have a negative chemical reaction where the hair could actually literally burn. So
is that a metallic issue?
That is a metallic issue. Yes, it is. So for that reason, I'm not a huge fan of it. And it always turns a weird orangey color. I can spot henna hair from a mile away. I'm always, very in tune with if somebody has henna on their hair. Normally, it normally has a very orangey cast to it. But as far as affecting the curls, I would have to say not really. That wouldn't be the concern, because the one good thing about it is gentle, it is natural, it is conditioning. So it's not going to hurt the hair as far as transitioning to the curly girl method. We did have someone in the past ask me about if that could actually relax the curl, and I would have to say that that is a possibility because it is so conditioning. So depending on your curl type, that would be the only thing that, could be a concern as far as the curly hair. And
is that an issue that you would only know and only find out by doing it?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, because, overall, I would say, it's a gentle conditioning hair color. So it should not really be a negative for curly hair.
It shouldn't. Okay. Well, good. Okay, hope that answers your question. Catriona, I believe is how you pronounce it.
I'm glad you're pronouncing it.
You should see some of the ones we got. Some of them are really easy, though. Let's do another question. And this is a hair color related question as all for curly hair. This is from Hillary Meyer Miller. She would like to know, Melanie, what do you suggest for curlies that highlight their hair? My hair is so dry, nothing I do helps moisturize it. So what are your thoughts about highlighting curly hair and the effects of that? What are your thoughts?
Well, highlighting curly hair, no matter what technique you use, the way that I explain it is anytime you're going lighter, especially with highlighting, you're talking about usually getting into lightener, aka bleach. So that is going to dehydrate the hair because you're stripping the pigment from the hair. So yes, that does cause damage, and you just need to be aware of that. And then you need to rebuild that hair structure back up after, doing those kinds of procedures. I'm not going to say that you shouldn't do them because, people just like to have different looks. You just need to be aware of the consequences, and it is going to strip, damage, dehydrate the hair, which will relax the curl if it's definitely over processed or, highly processed highlights. So then you have to recondition. So using, conditioning treatments, we talk about there's all different types of conditioning treatments, or even getting into keratin treatments done properly. The proper keratin treatments done properly can be beneficial as far as healing the damage that's done to that hair.
Sure. Because I know there's a lot of people that have been highlighting their hair their curls long term, long before they had even heard about the curly girl method, and then decide to go that route, and it's a struggle.
Yeah, I see those people come into the salon all the time, and they have straight, straggly pieces that have been, previously highlighted, or, so they're damaged. So a lot of times, that's the hair on top and in front because that's what's been highlighted the most. And so, we have to try to cut the hair in a way that they're comfortable, losing, whatever length they're okay with, and then just getting them onto using the proper products to recondition the hair as well.
Okay, good. Hopes that gets your question. I know a lot of people have that question, so that's good. Here I got another one. This is a little lengthy one, and I'll try to paraphrase if I can. This is from Deidre Connor. Deidre would like to know, actually, this is a question for both Melanie and Ken. It's not an Ask Me Anything show. So that is, for those of you who haven't been here before, we do once a month. Once a month we do an Ask Me Anything show. That is not tonight, and I announce it ahead of time. So I'll put out, if you guys see, I'll put out feelers for questions.
Now I'm curious what kind of a hair question they're asking Ken.
This is right.
This
exactly.
This ought to be real interesting.
Really interesting. Okay. Let's see. There is a controversial video being shared in here and on Instagram, so Facebook and Instagram, that has several hairdressers and the influencers jumping on the quote-unquote anti-oil bandwagon. In it, Lorraine Massey, for those of you who don't know, she was one of the co-founders of Diva Curl. And I guess you'd call her now well, actually, she's kind of an influencer, I guess you could say, but she's known as the original curly girl. Lorraine Massey says that oils never leave the hair and cannot be removed. In a previous video she released last year, she also goes as far as to say that detergents in shampoo stay in the hair and cannot be fully rinsed away. She also says that silicones cannot be removed by shampoo and ultimately have to be cut out of the hair. What are your thoughts on oils, their uses, shampoo and silicones? Can they be removed? Oils.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on oils? What are your thoughts? That's a lengthy question. Do you want me to?
No, I have it all in my head.
Okay. It's in my head.
It's in my head. So I got it. Anyway, Lorraine, I love her. She's fabulous. I respect her. However, I did see that video, and have to say I agree, but I also disagree with things that she said.
Okay.
And here's why. Our bodies, including our scalps, produce oil. So, and if you think of the old, like, wives' tale of sitting and brushing the hair, 100 times a day.
Sure.
Yeah. And that has to do with, and people not washing. A lot of people like to not wash their hair as often because that oil is secreting and conditioning the hair. And that's why they like that. And that's what that brushing has to do with, secreting those oils from your scalp and into the hair and brushing it into the hair. So anyway, I agree with her in saying that there's a lot of synthetic oils out there that have silicones. They're loaded with silicones, and I don't think that those are good products to use. I don't agree with the silicones because they can coat. Yes, they absolutely can coat the hair.
Yeah, I agree with that statement that she made, is that you're seeing way too many oil, and they're labeled as such, as quote unquote oils. When you see them on the shelves, there's a lot of companies getting into that. And when you look at the ingredient breakdowns, I mean, there's such a massive amount of silicones and inert ingredients, basically, but that are all, a lot of times in some of these products are, there's more silicone in them than there is oil, and people say, well, I can buy, a 2 ounce bottle of this, and it costs me, $8.99, or you've got like something that we manufacture. I mean, not to push it, but I mean, we sell an oil that's, like $17 for an ounce. And people say, why would I buy that? I'm like, well, because it's 100% oil.
Exactly.
It's got no filler. It's got no silicone.
So that's where I disagree with Lorraine and what she's saying, because there are pure oils out there that are fabulous for the hair. They penetrate. They don't coat. They go, they penetrate to the inside of the hair. They are very healthy, healing. They give you great shine. But they're water soluble. They rinse clean from the hair. They don't build up. And I am going to, give a shout out to our Raw Curls Shine Serum, because that's what it is. It's 100% organic oils. They're very beautiful. They, and again, they don't build up on the hair. And the hair does need oils for conditioning. So, you don't want to use too much for certain hair types, and then other hair types, can absorb tons of oil. But and I'm just saying, it's not a concern with pure oils building up on the hair. And I think that the hair needs that. So that's why I say I agree and I disagree. The silicones are bad. I agree with her with that. That does cause buildup and that can cause dehydration. But the pure oils are actually very beautiful and great in the hair. And necessary, I would say. Lots of conditioners are made with pure oils. I can speak for that because I was part of formulating our products, which have tons of organic pure oils in them, and they're beneficial for the hair. So you just have to be, savvy as far as, getting educated on ingredients and silicones and all of that, which we talk about on this show weekly.
Yeah. Well, let's move into a related question from Julie Whitty.
She asked also about the shampoos and stuff.
Yeah, she said basically, and she says, and I didn't see Lorraine talk about this. About the detergents in shampoos never coming out.
Right. So I disagree with that as well.
Yeah, because it's that's
I don't
that's
know.
a real general. That's way too broad of a generalization.
But I don't know if somebody's
detergents,
confusing that. I didn't hear Lorraine talk about detergents.
I didn't either.
And shampoo. So I'm wondering if someone's confusing that question or that statement. Because
I don't know.
She's talking about sulfates and detergents and shampoos being bad for the hair, but the reason that Diva and Lorraine teach against that is because those are harsh on the hair. They're stripping to the hair. They're dehydrating the hair. So I don't know where someone's coming up with getting buildup and not rinsing from the hair.
Well, maybe I'll reach out to her this week and see if she wants to come on the show and talk.
Yeah,
and we can do that. We can and you can ask her directly and have that conversation, and let's see.
Yeah. So I just have a feeling that there was a little confusion there, because that's why they believe in the detergents per se being bad. Those would be the sulfates and things, but those are stripping and dehydrating. Our shampoos, we call cleansers because they don't contain those ingredients. They're very hydrating. They cleanse the hair without stripping it.
And other brands do that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what the sulfate-free brands are all about.
Theirs does the same thing, without stripping detergents.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, I think.
And that's where they came up with the no poo.
Right. And I think that my guess is, and again, I'm going to ask her. I'll reach out to her and see if I can get her to come on the show and she can talk about it. But because I don't want to put words in her mouth. But my guess is that she was taking like the larger, really well-known brands and grouping them into this statement. I think it was just a blanket statement that could use some clarification.
Well,
that's my guess.
That part of it, but she was pretty clear about the oils and
about the oils.
She changed her mind. They used to promote oils, and now they were not. Yeah. So I agree with some of it. I disagree with some of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's kind of a related, question that will go on to this. This is from Julie Whitty. Julie asked. She said, "Hi, Melanie. Can you talk about the benefits of Prepoo, maybe with coconut oil?" That's kind of related. Do you want to talk about that? What are your thoughts? Do you personally Prepoo at all ever? Do you?
That sounds funny.
Oh, she poos.
Yeah. Now when I think of when you say that Prepoo, they have those sprays that you can spray in the toilet before you.
We have that.
Yeah. So that's what it sounds like to me, but I don't think that's what they're talking about here. So
I don't know. Thank you, Karen Eckert.
Yeah.
She makes us homemade.
So as far as using a pre-cleanse, we'll call it, I do not do that in my hair. I don't find it necessary. What
about other people?
Yeah, for maybe like type 4 hair. That is what we actually learned at the Diva Academy for the ultra textured hair. Was
that when you took that art of texture, that extra?
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
That was a unique class. They only taught that a couple of times.
Yep. So that is something that's used to pre-soften the hair and get it to start detangling before you use a no poo or a cleanser or whatever you're going to, wash your hair with. So
do you ever use that on clients at your salon behind the chair or any of your girls at the salon?
I've used it once or twice.
Yeah.
But
any of the other girls, any of the other stylists at the salon do it?
Not typically.
Nobody really?
No.
Okay.
With the Raw Curls cleanser, we haven't found that it's been necessary. I can just think of like one or two people that hadn't fully, they have type 4 hair and they hadn't detangled in who knows how long. There was one that was a young girl. It's hard for them to really properly detangle their own hair, I guess. So anyway, we did need to use some there, and I had my one client that was in the Keys for her birthday, and her hair was super tangly, and so I felt that it was necessary that time, but not typically. Not typically. So as far as using a coconut oil, I'm not sure that that's the best. You want something like more, I want to say liquidy. So like how we did it at the Academy was literally using one of their conditioners, which is very watery. So, it helps to soften and work through that hair before you're going to cleanse. So coconut oil might be a little too thick and too heavy. I always talk about coconut oil being a great conditioner, but I don't love to use it by itself. It needs a delivery system. So we use it in our products, but combined with other ingredients so that it's delivered and pushed into the hair, not just coating the top of it. So I don't want to say it's bad to do that, but I guess it wouldn't be my first choice.
It wouldn't be your first choice. Okay.
Try it. See how you like it. And see that you're able to rinse it out.
That's the key.
Yeah. Because a lot of times people talk about that they use coconut oil and they can't get it out. And then they end up using clarifying treatment or a deep cleansing, shampoo. And then you're
completely defeats
the
the purpose of what you were trying to do.
So that's why I'm saying I'm kind of hesitant about that one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move on to something. How about wavies? Should we talk about the wavy girls a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. This is from Trish Grenser, and she's got a question about wavy hair, and we'll just take this here. Let's see. For wavies with 2B hair, to-be curls. Is it possible to refresh without re-wetting the hair? I have to be out the door quickly for work and don't have a lot of time to fuss with my hair. I also air dry since my waves look better without a diffuser. Thanks. So thanks for that, Trish. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm not one that likes to wet my hair to refresh. If I have to wet it, I'm going to wash it. That's just way too much work for me. So
yeah.
The best way, you know, there's lots of companies, including Raw Curls, that have a curl refresher. Ours is our anti-frizz, and there's other.
You think of any other ones?
What is the Diva one? Is it Mr. Right? They have two things. I think it's Mr. Right is their curl refresher. If they haven't changed that name, that may be the old name. And then let's see. Onesta has one. Onesta has it's basically what it is a spray leave-in conditioner, which is also a detangler. So there's lots of lines.
There's a bottle sitting right outside the door here. You guys can't see.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so most product lines have a spray detangler or leave-in conditioner, and that's what I would typically use to refresh my curls without wetting it down.
Okay. Yeah, I hope that answers that for you, Trish. Boy, okay, let's go to a little... Oh, here's an easier... Well, maybe not. This question is from Net Kleiman, I believe is how you pronounce that. Net. Let's see. Net would like to know, Melanie, how long does it take to reveal your true curl pattern once you go curly girl? I have been curly girl a little over 6 months, and I've seen a major change. Congratulations.
Yay.
That's good. Yep. But I'm wondering if my curls still have more potential. I have never used a chemical relaxer. Good for you. Roughly 6 months ago and prior, I would blow dry my hair straight and then flat iron it along with using a lot of silicone products. I'm hoping my hair, I'm hoping my hair will get a little more curlier with time. Just wondering how long it can take to reveal true curl pattern once you go curly girl. Thank you. So, got any thoughts, any insight for Net?
I do. So she is correct where it takes time for that curl to bounce back. As we were talking earlier, depends on how much damage has been done to the hair. If you're blow drying it, if you're straightening it with a flat iron, it can take, actually there is no set time is what I wanted to say. Everyone's hair is going to be different. So if I get my hair cut and, if I would get it blown out, which I haven't done in a really long time, typically it takes my hair a good week to bounce back. So everyone's hair is going to be different. The amount of time it takes, it depends on how much you're blow drying or flat ironing. If you did do relaxers or like we were talking about earlier with highlights. But I can tell you this, the hair grows ½ inch on average a month. So that would be 6 inches in a year. So, if you might get that new growth that's coming in more curly than the ends, and that's going to be common. Or it can bounce back, but I would say it can take, a good year really to,
wow.
Yeah, because you're going to get 6 inches of hair growth in that time. So,
wow. Good.
And, some people could, if they haven't been doing as much, they can see that curl bounce back quicker, but, it all depends on how much they've been damaging their hair and dehydrating it.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Also, you know what? She mentioned that she used silicone, so she may have to do. I don't know if she did a clarifying treatment, but you may have to do a detox in order to get that silicone off the hair, because we were just saying how it can coat the hair, and that's going to hinder having your best curls.
Sure. Let's do a couple of questions about going to a hairstylist or a hair salon for curly hair, curly specialist. Do a couple of questions about that. This one is from Darlene Croucher. Darlene's fairly new to the curly girl method, so she's got a very interesting question here. Let's see. Hi, Melanie. I paid $15 plus tip every 4 to 6 weeks for a haircut when I wore my hair straight.
Wow.
Was she one of our clients?
No.
I don't think so.
I think she's going where my mom goes.
She might, right. That's right. And that's like the going rate where she's in the mountains.
Yeah.
There you go. I just paid $75 plus tip for a curly cut. I have heard that you can go 4 to 6 months between curly cuts, so it is supposedly comparable. But I like wearing my hair shorter, like an inverted bob that is a couple of inches below the chin on the sides. Can I realistically go that long between cuts? It seems like it would get way too long. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on what should she be expecting to pay for a curly cut, and how long do you think it'll last?
Well,
is that true, or is it an old wives' tale that it lasts longer than
no, it's true.
Haircut?
It's true. It's true. I'm still trying to wrap my head around getting a haircut for $15.
I could tell the story of my $15 haircut.
Is that the whole head, or is
Walmart.
that just like one curl?
I got a $15 haircut a couple of years ago.
You did?
Don't you remember?
I was an $8 haircut.
Oh, that was an $8 one. Well, but I tipped. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, we charge that for a bang trim, so that's just crazy. But anyway, $75 is a really great price for a curly cut.
From a curl specialist.
Yeah.
From a trained curl specialist.
I would
Absolutely.
say, that's a really good price.
The training alone is a bundle. I mean, it's a bundle.
So, and I can say in my salon, I personally charge $150, and my girls charge $75. So that is definitely a good rate that she paid. So it is worth it. I don't know about for anybody else, but we take 2 hours of time when you come in for your first curly cut, going from consultation through, the dry cutting and in whatever shape we're going to do, if we need to do wet cutting. So, and then
and you educate as well during that time.
Lots of education, lots of product knowledge, how to, use the products and how to pin the hair. So it's a 2-hour process. So that right there is really worthwhile, paying those prices. And then it is true. I haven't heard 4 to 6 months. That seems a little bit longer than, what we promise. A lot of my curlies, I can tell you, come in every 3 months. So you definitely can go 3 months getting a curly cut. And here's the thing. Did she say what type of hair she has? What type of curl? She just said
no, she didn't.
Length.
No, she used to have straight hair. She's going curly girl. No. Yeah, she doesn't talk about, what her curl type is or whatever.
Okay. So, I customize people's cuts to their needs, and I'm real honest and upfront with people. So, there are curl types that can come in for just a regular trim in between their curly cuts. If there's someone that feels that they need to keep their hair shorter and get it cut more often, that curly cut is already in there, and they may be able to go with just getting a little regular trim in between.
What would that cost in your salon if they wanted that, roughly?
For a trim?
Yeah.
$75.
$75?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but typically, curlies want to get a curly cut. So then they, because the hair shrinks, they on average can go 3 months getting a curly cut. So they would just come in and get their curly cut every time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that answers that. I've got another one regarding cuts. This is, and this next question is a question. This is probably one of our top 10 questions that we've gotten in the 76 shows that we've done, and the answer hasn't changed, but we'll continue to answer it because it continually gets asked. Melanie, what should I tell the diva stylist when I go to get a haircut? I have long hair that is super curly but won't curl for some reason anymore. Get lots of questions on how I should talk to my stylist and what I should say. Get lots of those. Any thoughts?
Well, I don't know that we've had that question come up a lot where they say, what should I tell the diva stylist?
No, but the stylist in general. They want to know what to tell their stylist in general.
Because that's why I was thinking about that question as you were asking it, because a diva stylist should know what to do. So they already have training.
Well, we can go down that road too. Is it a level 1? Is it a level 3? Is it a certified? Is it what is it? What is it?
Yeah, but if they've been through the training, they should, but here again, you can have, it's life. There's people that are going to, be more talented than others. So even if they go through training, that doesn't mean that they're not going to suck. There could be people that just aren't good hairstylists, they have gone to the class and they don't know how to apply it once they get back. So that's why it's nice, with my girls, they're working side by side with me. I'm there. I'm always helping to coach them, because it's hard when you go and take a class and it's a lot to learn and then just go back. And sometimes people forget, and maybe they don't reference their notes, or I don't know if they don't get further training.
Sure.
So, they may not be great hairstylists. That's all I can say. But as far as what to tell them, so she's saying she had curly hair, now it's gone straight. So there's something going on there, whether that's internal or, I'm not sure what products are being used. Is there something that's, causing that change in her hair? But to me, it sounds like something internally.
Yeah, don't discount hormones.
Yeah, hormones really change your hair a ton, whether it's thyroids.
Oh, yeah.
Or and medications, heart, thyroid, but also just going through menopause. We had that question come up. Any hormone changes or affects the hair. So it could typically I've seen hair get more curly instead of less curly, but you never know. So I'm not sure what's causing that, but she would have to consult with the hairstylist and try to figure out the best plan of attack, whether it's cutting those pieces and taking some weight away, trying to get some curl to bounce back is typically what we end up doing, and then getting them on the proper product usage.
Sure. Okay. Hopefully that helps. Let's do a couple of bang questions. What are we doing on time? Any idea?
8:13.
How long have we been going?
45 minutes.
Have we? Did we start on time? Pretty close on time?
37 minutes.
All right, let's do a couple more. Let's do a couple more.
One or two.
Yeah. I actually said this week when we were setting up, I'm like, I'm going to get a clock in here, and I didn't.
I have my phone.
Right, but I need to go.
8:13.
Okay. All right, let's do a couple of bang questions. Okay. Holly Sansone. This is your question. It could be
bang
Sansoni.
because it was the 4th of July.
What?
I said bang questions because
right,
it was the 4th of July.
It's the 4th
bang,
of
bang.
July.
Hello?
Yes, I know. Hello. Dum. I'm here all week, folks. Okay. Best way to wear style bangs with curly hair. My hair is mostly 2C, 3A, except my bangs are more wavy. Do you have any thoughts on that? I have a low forehead. What is the best way to keep the hair out of my eyes without pinning it back? That's a related question. Let's do the first one. Best way to style and wear bangs with curly hair when you got 2C, 3A curls. What are your thoughts?
Well, so I wonder, she's saying her bangs are more wavy than curly? Is that how you're reading it?
Let's see. It sounds like, except her bangs are more wavy than curly. But she's got curly hair, and she wants to know if you have any suggestions on how to wear or how to style those bangs.
Okay. So I have clients that have that same situation. Actually, their curl pattern is more of waves than curly, and they like to wear bangs as well. So, you can see, let's see if I can, pull my those are my little bangy pieces, but I don't wear them as full-on bangs. I just have little, little pieces on the sides to break up my hair being so long. But if you want to wear the actual bangs, a lot of times you're going to end up adding a little bit more to that section. With clients, I start off trying to do a smaller bang section, but it really doesn't work as well because that hair already is finer. There's not a lot of hair there to get a nice curl or even your wave to cover the forehead if that's what you want to do. So I typically end up, we'll start there because they're hesitant. And then, the next time, a lot of times we end up adding more hair to it and that looks better. So, that I guess I would suggest if you're comfortable adding a little bit of a heavier bang section so you have more hair there to work with and, make sure that you're getting the product in it. And what I end up having to do as far as styling it is drying that hair first before, if you're going to diffuse. I'm thinking about clients that I diffuse their hair. So I end up diffusing that part first before I would flip their head upside down, because we've had some incidences where they come back up and the bangs are sticking straight out, kind of like Something About Mary, and that doesn't really look great. And then I have to like re-moisten them. So I've learned through experience, learned through my mistakes, that it's best if you're going to diffuse to dry that area first before flipping your head upside down. And then, sometimes you have to kind of break those curls up a little bit with your fingers once it's dry, because they want to clump together and it looks kind of funky. I like to keep the bangs longer, a little bit longer, because they do shrink up a lot on the forehead. And then you have the versatility of being able to push them to the side or wear them forward. So there's lots of different things that you can do with them.
You get some different looks. Same thing. What about Diane Mead's question about she has a low forehead? What is the best way for her to keep her hair out of her eyes without pinning it back?
That's a really tough one, because with the low, that means she has a small forehead section. So her hairline comes down far. So it's coming down closer to her eyes. And that's always a challenge. So unfortunately, if she wants to wear bangs, she's going to have to cut them shorter, to keep them out of her eyes, or push them to the side, cut them on an angle so that they're not, hanging directly in your eyes. She doesn't want to pin them back, but that is a good option. Or she can style it away from her face. So, you can do this whether you have curly hair or straight hair, but just the way that you put your gel in. I always like to have the hair in the direction that it wants to be styled. So she can actually like brush her hair back and put the gel in her hair and try to keep it, flowing backwards instead of forward into her face and her eyes.
That's a neat idea. That's a neat idea. Post some pictures, Diane, if you do that, so we can.
That looks real pretty.
Yeah, so we can all take a look at
that.
That
would be kind of like how my hair is going. Because I don't have the actual bangs, but how I keep this all pushed back and styled more away from my face instead of forward. Sure, looking like cousined.
Okay. Well, let's wrap that up for questions for the week. Although I do want to throw out there, if for those of you who are watching, if there is anybody you'd like in the curly world for us to bring on as a guest, be sure to send me a message or post in the Curly Girls support group, or send us a direct message on Instagram. Or you can email me directly, ken@rawhairorganics.com, and let me know that maybe we'll make a post in the group, and if you've got people that you'd like us to talk to, we can reach out to them and bring them on.
I have people that I'd like to bring on.
You got people, eh?
I've got people.
That'll be cool. So anyway, okay, so we'll wrap it up. So thanks for joining us this week. We'll see you next week, Monday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Have an awesome curly week.
Yeah, for Curly Q&A in episode 77. So anyway, good night. Thanks for joining us.
Bye,
we'll
everyone.
See you later. Bye, Instagram.